everyone. Welcome to Story Hour again, our virtual story hour. Today we're going to read a story about a turtle. So I thought I would introduce you to our family pet, who happens to be an Indian box turtle named Tank. Here she is. I'm holding her in my hand, and she's crawling a little bit with her head out, looking around. I can't hold Tank and the storybook, so I'm going to hold her here for a couple of minutes so that you can see her. She's trying to figure out how come she's not moving on the floor because I'm holding her up in the air. You can see her legs and her head a little bit. Try to get it so you can see her tail. But she is a really pretty shell, and we keep her at my house, not in the library. She's at my house in the tank, and she is our family pet. So she lives in an aquarium tank, and her name is Tank. Here she is doing some stretches for you. Hello, Tank. She's very friendly. I'm going to put her down so that she can crawl around on the floor. And then I'm going to read you this story about Truman. Look at, she looks like she's flying. Go, Tank, go. All right, let me see if I put her down. She might go in once I do that, but here she goes. Bye, Tank. Okay, she's down at my feet now. Okay, so we're going to read Truman by Reidy. It's about a little turtle named Truman, smaller than Tank. Truman was small, the size of a donut, a small donut, and every bit as sweet. He lived with Sarah, high above honking taxis and growling trash trucks and shrieking cars, and the number 11 bus which traveled south. Looks like Truman lives in a city. Truman never honked or growled or shrieked at anything or anybody. He was peaceful and pensive, just like his Sarah. One day, Sarah ate a big banana with her breakfast, clipped a blue bow in her hair, and buttoned up a brand new sweater. She strapped on a backpack so big 32 small tortoises could ride along in it, but 0 tortoise would. Sarah placed 7 green beans in Truman's dish, 2 more than usual. Not to worry, she left before and she always returned, but this time the backpack was particularly big, and Sarah looked particularly pensive. And that banana, and that bow, and let's not forget about those extra green beans. Truman looks worried. That's when Truman saw something he'd never seen before. Sarah boarding the number 11 bus going south, and the bus roared away. There's Truman, way up in the little window, watching the bus. Truman waited for Sarah to return. He waited and waited and waited. He waited 1,000 hours, tortoise hours that is, until he could wait no longer. He would go after his Sarah. He would catch the number 11 bus, even amid the honking and the growling and the shrieking, even if it seemed impossible. There he is in his aquarium tank, or terrarium. That's when he noticed the rocks, 3 rocks that had always been there. Ordinary rocks that now seemed extraordinary. Uh-oh, he's gonna get out. And the arm of the couch, there he goes. And the pillow propped just right. And that tall, tall boot, boink. And that rug, oh, there he is. That glorious pink, endless rug. Without Sarah, their home seemed vast and uncharted and unsettling. Truly unsettling. But perhaps most unsettling was that Truman could no longer see the taxis or the trash trucks or the cars or the number 11 bus. Which way was south anyway? Now the sun hung low, like Truman's head and heart. Just then, he sees a little dandelion on the floor. Sarah must have dropped it. And then, vroom, screech, up floors and under doors, Truman heard a bus. It was time to catch the number 11 south, amid the honking and the growling and the shrieking. Yet standing there in that ray of light, Truman felt peaceful and pensive and brave. There he is with his dandelion, feeling brave. Much better than worried. But just as he was supposed to slip under the door through that opening barely the size of a small tortoise, Sarah! She spotted him, shining like the sun. Truman, she said. She scooped him up and said things like, oh my goodness, and oh you, oh how did you ever, and you're amazing. Sarah kissed her finger and touched it to his shell and tucked him safely in his tank, where he was peaceful and pensive and proud. And later, just before bedtime, Sarah read him a story. Now Truman knew that one day soon, he and his Sarah might travel south to see new sights and hear new sounds and think new thoughts. Oh, look, she took him to show and tell at school. And they would do this together. The end. I hope you liked that story about Truman the turtle. My turtle has taken off across the floor. If I pull her up here again, she'll just be all tucked into her shell. So at least you got to see her in the beginning. So I'll see you tomorrow with a new story. Bye.